You know how AI, for all its incredible power, sometimes feels like it's, well, missing something. Like it can talk a great game, but it can't quite see the world with the same clarity that we do. Well, today we're diving into a new AI model that's taking a massive step toward fixing that exact problem, and it's challenging the biggest names in tech by seeing the world in unbelievable detail.
Okay, so to kick things off, I absolutely love this analogy from the model's creators over at Alibaba. They say that today's AI is like the cream filling in a sandwich cookie. You know, it's good, it does its job across a bunch of tasks, but it's missing the actual cookies, the solid foundational layers that give it real substance and crunch.
So what exactly is this sandwich cookie problem they're talking about? It's all about that missing foundation, that missing crunch. The AI's struggle to perceive the world with the same fine-grained visual detail that we just take for granted.
And this really gets to the heart of a huge bottleneck in AI today. I mean, sure, a model like GPT-4 can look at a photo and say, that's a city street. But can it read the tiny text on a distant storefront sign or count the exact number of bikes in a bike rack? A lot of the time, the answer is no. And that lack of super detailed perception is what's holding them back from really truly understanding.
But that is exactly where our new challenger comes into the picture. So let's meet Qwen 2.5 VL. It's a model designed by the Qwen team specifically to build that stronger, crunchier foundation for AI vision.
Now, this is what's known as a Vision Language Model, or VL for short. It's built from the ground up to understand both images and text together. And here's the really critical part. Qwen 2.5 VL is open source. This is a huge deal because it means its code is out there for everyone to see, to use, and to build on, which can spark innovation way beyond just one single company.
So what can it actually do? What's it promising? Well, for starters, it's meant to be a master at pulling info out of complex documents, at precisely finding and counting objects in a picture, and, get this, even understanding videos that are hours long. But then there's the big one. It's designed to act as an agent that can actually operate your computer and phone for you.
Promises are one thing, right? Performance is something else entirely. So, let's put it to the test. How does this new open source challenger really stack up against the reigning closed source champions of the AI world?
And here are the results. What you're seeing are charts that pit the biggest Qwen model against competitors you've definitely heard of. We're talking GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 Sonnet across a whole range of really tough visual tests.
Let's start with document understanding. On a benchmark called DocVQA, Qwen pulls a massive 96.4. Now, this isn't just basic reading. This is the AI reading the fine print, pulling out the exact right numbers from a complicated form that other models might just gloss over. It's building that foundational layer.
Then you've got visual math. On the Math Vista test, it scores a 74.8. What that means is it can look at charts and diagrams with incredible precision and perform mathematical reasoning based on what it sees, another one of those crucial fine-grained skills.
And finally, for general visual question answering on a test called MMBench, it scores a really powerful 88.6. This just proves how good it is at looking at a huge variety of images and answering tricky, nuanced questions about them.
So the takeaway here is absolutely critical. An open source model is now going toe-to-toe with the best, most expensive closed source systems on the planet. And in some of these really important areas, it's not just matching them, it's actually winning. This is a huge moment for the AI community.
Okay, so the results are obviously impressive, but how? How is this even possible? Let's peel back the curtain and take a look at the secret sauce that's powering this thing.
So this diagram shows you the model's architecture. I know, it looks a little complicated, but don't worry. We're going to focus on just two key innovations that make Qwen so incredibly efficient and so powerful.
First up is a technique called window attention. The best way to think about this is like using a magnifying glass. See, instead of trying to look at an entire massive high-resolution image all at once, which takes a ton of computer power, the AI scans it in these smaller, overlapping windows. This saves a massive amount of processing power, but it makes sure that not a single tiny detail gets missed.
The second innovation is called native dynamic resolution, and honestly, this is a total game changer. A lot of AIs have to first squish or stretch images into a perfect square before they can analyze them, and of course, that distorts everything and can cause all sorts of errors. Qwen doesn't do that. It looks at images in their original, native size and shape, which is absolutely critical for seeing things correctly.
So, we've got this super perceptive, super efficient AI. That's cool tech, but what does it actually mean for you in the real world?
Well, this is where we move beyond just seeing the world and into doing things in it.
Because of its powerful vision, Qwen can become what's known as an AI agent. Basically, think of it as a co-pilot for your digital life. It doesn't just see your screen, it understands it. It can find the right buttons, read text, identify icons, all so it can perform complex, multi-step tasks for you from a single command.
Let me give you a quick example. You could just say, hey, find the latest report from my manager and email it to the team. The AI agent would then literally navigate your files, find the right document, open up your email app, draft a new message, attach that file, and hit send, all from one simple instruction.
And that right there, that perfectly illustrates the huge leap we're talking about. The AI stops being just a passive tool you ask questions to. It becomes an active assistant that can take real, meaningful action for you inside your digital world.
And let's circle back one last time to that open source piece, because it's so important. While closed models are developed behind locked doors by one company, open source blows the doors wide open. It lets a global community of developers chip in, build new tools on top of it, and push the boundaries of what's possible, which speeds up progress for everybody, not just for a select few.
Which really brings us to our final thought. We are moving so fast from an era where we ask AI questions to a new era where we give it tasks. So, when an AI can not only see your world with perfect clarity, but can also act within it for you, what's the first thing you're going to ask it to do?